Now students, the next topic that we will be looking on to is the geometrical interpretation of the zeros of a polynomial. Now, in geometrical interpretation, that means what? Whatever we have studied till now was the algebraic explanation of the polynomial, that how the polynomial is written, how they are represented. Fine. What are the degrees of a polynomial? What are the types of polynomials? So we have seen the algebraic interpretation. Now we'll look on to the graphical representation of it, or the geometrical part. Now first of all we need to understand that let us come with the types of polynomial. Now we had studied linear polynomial. Now basically if somebody asks you that what is a linear polynomial, that means polynomial we know that what's a polynomial is, but why the word linear is used? Getting the point or not? Now every particular naming of a particular thing in mathematics has got some relevance with the thing which is in actually happening. So the word linear is basically a derivative of line. Something which follows a line is said to be linear, which moves in a line, which travels in a line. So that means in a linear polynomial we will have what? Say for example, if I am having a polynomial, say fx is equal to x plus 2 or x minus 2, say. I am having fx is equal to x minus 2. Now if I need to represent it in a graphical fashion, first of all we need to understand that a graph, in graph what we have seen that the things are being plotted in the graph based on the abscissa and ordinate of a particular point. That is basically what you need to have an x-axis and a y-axis. So x and y-axis together, they will be making up what? This graphical interpretation. So in this particular polynomial, we will say, so we are having x, now where is y? So let me assume that this whole fx, that means the answer, let this thing be y. Say. So we will say y is equal to x minus 2. This is what this thing, we have done it from our side, we have taken this y. Now you will do what? You will make a box, that the same thing that you have done in your class 9. Now you will try to do what? You will try to put various values of x and y's, either x or y, any one of them. Now based on this, suppose if I put x is equal to 0, then y is equal to minus 2. If x is equal to, say if I put 2, then y is equal to 2 minus 2, 0. So what are the values of x that you have plotted? You have plotted x's value as 0 and 2. Now this thing you have done in class 9. Now is there any specific rule that only these particular values are to be put? No, there is no such rule. You can put any particular real value of x or any particular real value of y. And this is also means a kind of a thing that this is not necessary that you need to put the value of x only, you can put the value of y also. So if you put the value of y, then you will find out what is the value of x that is coming. Fine, based on this. Now, two particular solutions. This is one solution set, this is second solution set. So I have taken two solution set of this particular polynomial. Now at least if you need to draw a graphical representation, then you need to have at least two solution sets. More than two solution sets are preferable. At least at least two solution sets must be there, or at most you can draw three, because three solution sets will give you an overall idea that what kind of interpretation the graphical portion is having. So based on this, if I plot the graph now, then we will get what? So this is x-axis and this is y-axis. When x is 0, y is minus 2. So this is minus 1, minus 2, this is 1, this is 2, this is 1, this is 2, this is minus 1, this is minus 2. So if x is 0, y is minus 2, x 0, y minus 2, that means this point, and x2, y 0, x2, y 0, that means this point. If you draw these, join these 2 points, you will get what? You will get a line. This is the line of x minus 2. So here one thing that you need to understand is the value of fx that you are taking to be y. So the fx would be plotted over here. This is the place where we will put fx. This is the line of fx and this is the line of x. this is how you are getting a line. Since this is making a line, this is following a line, that's why the kind of polynomial is said to be linear polynomial. That means every linear polynomial's graphical interpretation would be what? A straight line. Now from where the straight line will be passing? For that you need to take out the solution sets, you will plot the values, and based on that you will get what? The kind of graphical interpretation. So the point to be noted over here is that linear polynomial has got straight line kind of a graph. Clear? That is the reason why this is known as linear polynomial. So please note it down. Now in the second part, let us see what a quadratic polynomial has in it. Say, now going for a quadratic polynomial. Now let us take one example. Fx equals to x square plus 3x minus 2, like this. Now the plotting of the graph, how to take out the values, solution sets, that is not mandatory. But the point is, since you are having a quadratic polynomial, now what will happen? The kind of quadratic polynomial will be represented like either this type of graph or this type of graph. Clear? Over and all, the kind of graph would be like this or this. This kind of a graph is said to be parabola. Now, what a parabola is, regarding this you will study in class 11. So right now we need not focus upon this parabola. So the only point that we need to understand over here is that the graph was going like this, and all of a sudden there comes a drift in the graph, and it sudden changes and retraces its path in a different solution set. And that is how you will say what? That this is a kind of a graph which is known as parabola. That means what? Ki here, for every value of y, there will be two values of x. Say for example, for this y, this is one value of y. So for this y, you are having this value of x and simultaneously this value of x. Say if you are taking this y, so here you will get this x and simultaneously you will get this x. You are having this y, you will get this x and simultaneously you will have this x. So for every value of y, there are two values of x. Fine. You can point out, so what about this point? For this y, we are having only one x. So regarding this, you will study in quadratic equation chapter that there are certain equal roots or equal solutions. So we will see it later on that why this thing happens. So right now we are not focusing upon it. Just the point to be understood over here is that this is a quadratic polynomial. So it will have two zeros. We have seen quadratic polynomials degree is 2. That's why this is called quadratic. Degree is 2 and degree determines number of zeros. So if degree is 2, then number of zeros would also be 2. Fine. So if number of zeros is 2, so you will see that there are two values of x every time. This is two values of x, two values of x, two values of x. So that means what? This particular thing. So this thing, if you consider this to be y, say. So in this case, you will get what? That this particular thing is having two solution sets. For every y, there are two solutions of x or two zeros of x. Fine. So this is how the graphical interpretation of a quadratic polynomial is. So similarly, if you move on to cubic polynomial, now in case of cubic polynomial, you will get the graph like this, something like this. So the point to be understood over here is, since we, if we start taking from linear equation or linear polynomial, linear had a straight line. That means no curve at all. When we moved on to quadratic, we have seen there is a curve. And how many curves are there? Single curve. One single curve will be there. One single curve will be there. When I am moving on to cubic, there are two curves like this or like this. So there is one curve, there is another curve. So this is a kind of a curve that you will get in cubic polynomial. How these are to be obtained, that is not the criteria. That we, or if you are having particular problem regarding this, so we can have a separate session for this that we can explain. But regarding your examination point of view, this thing is not that important, that how to find out the solutions for a cubic and quadratic polynomial. So the point to be understood over here is that how many zeros are there. So you will say this thing is having two zeros, this thing. Now say for example, if I am talking about y, say this particular value of y. Fine. Now this particular value of y, now this will have what? One value of x, there is another value of x, there is another value of x. Three values of x are there. Like this. If you look onto this, say if I am talking about this particular y, so this is having this x, this is having this x, this is having this x. Like this. Clear? So that means number of zeros would be 3. So please note it down. So the overall thing that we need to understand is that number of zeros fine. If you are having a linear polynomial, the number of zeros is 1. If you are having quadratic polynomial, you are having number of zeros 2. If you are having cubic polynomial, the number of zeros would be 3. That means what? In linear equation, the graph, or rather the line, will intersect x-axis at only one point. There will be only one value of x. There will be only one value of x, which the line will be intersecting on x-axis. A point where the line intersects x-axis, so we will find out there is only one single point wherein the line intersects x-axis. But in case of quadratic polynomial, you will see that the graph will intersect x-axis at 2 points, like this. In case of cubic polynomial, the graph will intersect x-axis at 3 points, here, here and here. So if they ask you that what are the zeros of a polynomial and they have given you the graph like this, fine, you will just find out what, at what point, I am repeating, at what point does the graph intersects x-axis or cuts x-axis. So the point at which x-axis is intersected, you will say that point is the what? Zero of the polynomial. Now if you look on to the questions, if you move on to exercise exercise 2.1, you will find out the first question means only one question is there, and in that question there are 6 parts. These 6 parts you need to find out the zeros of the polynomial, and the graph is of like if I do it like this, exercise 2.1 from an NCERT. The first question's first part. Here what you need to understand, that the equation is of, so the polynomial is like y is equal to p of x. You have to understand this thing, that what is the variable part in the polynomial. That means the polynomial is defined in terms of which variable. So here the polynomial is defined in terms of x. So you will find out at what point x-axis is intersected. So at the first one you will say, first part, this is what? The graph is like this. This is x-axis and this is y-axis, and the line goes on like this. This is the line. We will say at what point this is intersecting x. We will say this is not intersecting x. Am I true? This is not intersecting x. We will say there are no solutions. Getting my point or not? But this is a kind of a point wherein you can say that for every value of y, say if I are taking this value of y, fine, there are infinite values of x. So you will say infinite solutions. Or sometimes somebody can also write 0 solutions. Now there might be some confusions in someone's mind that why 0 and why infinite. So regarding this, let us keep it over up to here only. In the chapter linear equation, I will start from here only, that why infinite solutions are spoken about. Fine, so I'll talk about this thing later on. Moving on to the second question. The second question is like this. The graph is like this. So what is, find the number of zeros. So we will say x-axis is intersected at 1 point only. So how many zeros are there? There are 1 zeros. This is the B part. Moving on to the C part. At C part you will be having, you are having graph like this. Like this. So here x-axis is intersected at 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. So you will say there are 3 zeros. So similarly you will try to find out what? That at how many points x-axis is intersected. Now here in the graph, the points are not clearly mentioned. They are just, that is the reason why they are simply asking how many zeros are there. You will say 1 0, you will say 3 0, you will say no 0. But if they ask you what are the zeros, then you will see in the graph, these points are clearly visible or clearly distinguishable. So you will find out this is what point, say this is point 3. They will say x is equal to 3 is a zero of the polynomial. If suppose this is minus 3, 2, 3 like this. So minus 3, 2, 3 are the zeros of the polynomial, like that. So these are the questions. So this is what you have to understand. That the first of all, the first thing is that the polynomial is defined in terms of which variable? The variable is x. So based on x, you will say that at what point x-axis is intersected. So similarly, if they simply ask you that the graph is like x is equal to py. If I change the question like this and I ask you x is equal to py, now the variable is y. So you will say at what point y-axis is intersected. So if I am looking onto this graph, the y-axis is intersected at 1 point, so you will say 1 0. Here y-axis is intersected at 1 point, again 1 0. Here y-axis is intersected at 1 point, again 1 0. So these three are having 1 1 zeros of the polynomial, provided the polynomial is defined in terms of y. But if the polynomial is defined in terms of x, then we are having no zeros, 1 zeros, 3 zeros like this. So you have to understand again and again. I am repeating, means regarding what variable the particular polynomial is represented. Clear? Based on that you will get your answer. So please pause the video to note it down.